or Plymouth instead. Traffic delayed about 5 minutes from at least the road. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel. If you thought yesterday was cold, well, we are in for the same. Even colder, though, today. Sunshine to start, then afternoon clouds, eventually a high of 16. A few passing clouds tonight, otherwise clear, overnight low 7. A little bit better on Thursday. Clouds, a few flurries or snow showers possible, a high of 28 degrees. Currently 6 degrees with a wind chill. It feels like -7. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather first.
Hi, I'm Connie Holzer. We're always talking about cars and trucks, but we seldom appreciate the people behind the scenes, the hard-working people who make it all happen, from conception to completion, down to the smallest detail. These dedicated people make sure that you're driving the safest and the best-looking vehicles on the road. We want to acknowledge the remarkable people of Ford Motor Company. We at Townsend Ford appreciate you. Thank you.
Paul W. here. I have a question for you. Who do you trust? Will government programs like Social Security and Medicare always be there? Will the stock market just keep piling on gains year after year? With our $30 trillion in national debt, do you see taxes going down? These are the same kind of questions that have kept me up at night as I think about one day retiring. The same questions that I trust my good friend Chris Alberta at Principium to answer for me. Chris helped us rearrange our portfolio in a way that we are nearly insulated from the events that could create financial failure. It's not about how much you've made. It's how much you keep. How much will be left behind for your spouse and children? Every dollar protected from inflation, excessive taxes, unnecessary fees is a dollar that's working its hardest for you. You deserve the time, attention, and talent that Chris Alberta and his Principium team gave to me. You can get it. Take control of your future and call Principium at 888-800-8949 for
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/advantage. Head to netsuite.com/advantage for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/advantage.
From the Huntington Bank Economic Outlook and Market Preview Show, this is Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR. Paul's broadcast is sponsored by Huntington Bank. Here's Paul.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome into a very special program that we do every year with the good folks from Huntington. Of course, we'll have our regular programming as well as their very special Huntington Economic Outlook throughout this morning till 9 o'clock. It is Wednesday, January 26th, the 26th day of 2022 with 339 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. A special gift today being the Huntington Economic Outlook Day, but also Wednesdays are special around here, right, Dana Clark?
It's hump day.
It certainly is hump day, and she's had her hands full already. Eastbound I-96, I think at Beach Daily, there's a problem there, and lots more. She's already given us our WJR Traffic and Weather first, and we appreciate that. We've got the team together, and we add one more team, the Huntington team. We've got our WJR senior news analyst, Fox News correspondents, WJR contributors, the best guests, and, of course, you, a very important part of the best and brightest audience in all of radio, alongside Ann Thomas, our executive producer, and also assistant program director, and Sean Belegian. Sean, MSU makes a gallant comeback, falls one free throw short.
Yeah.
Coach and I have
Oh,
talked about free throws. These are free throws are the one shot that virtually every basketball player in college has thrown 1,000 of them, or many thousands of them, because they were great basketball players since they were little kids, and through grade school and through high school, or they wouldn't be on the MSU basketball team. And yet that easiest shot in all of basketball, nobody's moving. The basket never moves. The players don't have to move. They just need to put the ball in the hoop. And it's extremely important. And yet they can't make them all, obviously. And this poor kid forgets on the second one that he's supposed to miss, let it bounce off, have a chance to get up there and get the ball in to win. And they did not. Falling to Illinois, 56-55. That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it was, Paul. It's, a couple things coming to mind. It really was a dramatic comeback. I mean, they were trailing for, pretty much all of the game. And they were trailing big late, as a matter of fact, and they came roaring back. And as you mentioned, unfortunately, Malik Hall missed that first free throw, hit that second one. That was the end of the game. And it's just a reminder of how tough it is in Big Ten play, especially on the road. I mean, that is a true home advantage. When you're in a hostile environment against a good team, boy, it's difficult to win there. But a gallant effort falls, unfortunately, just short.
And let's face it, we have talked about this run of games was going to be a difficult run, and that was proven last night. And you heard it here on WJR, and you saw that Elton John has COVID. He's vaccinated and boosted, and now he has to cancel a tour. That's a lot of money when people cancel tours. That reminds me, what's her name was supposed to start out in Vegas, and Adele. That's it. Thank you, Brian. Adele canceled the night before she was to open. She was supposed to end her entire Las Vegas residency for the time being, just 24 hours before the opening night. And I felt bad and these people felt bad and were angry that she didn't cancel till 24 hours before. A lot of people had flown out there specifically to go to her show. So
I bet. Yeah.
But I feel worse for the people who paid as much as $40,000 for tickets.
Wow.
Well, that's nuts. That's just crazy. I don't care how rich you are. That just indicates of how rich some people are. But some people paid $35,000, $40,000 over ticket prices from scalpers to be able to be there for the opening night. Big deal. It's a big deal. It's opening night. And they're out of luck.
Oh my gosh. Paul, Elton John is supposed to be here in a couple weeks. So hopefully he feels better quickly.
Here's hoping that he's in that age bracket that doesn't do well unless it's the Omicron, and he has been boosted and shot and all that stuff. So he should be hopefully okay. But I just can't imagine somebody, for a special occasion or to show off, bought tickets to see Adele for $35,000-$40,000. You're done. There's no make good on that. You didn't buy the tickets legally from a ticket outlet. You obviously bought them maybe legally from a scalper, but that's gone.
Well, you'd have to have a lot of potatoes to spend that kind of money on a ticket.
Got to have a lot of potatoes. But speaking of COVID, guys, guess what I'm holding in my hand? Well, I sound like Jimmy Lantz.
Oh, I know. You go ahead, but I have a feeling I know.
Well, that you probably do know that in my hand and in my mailbox yesterday is the COVID-19 at-home test sent by the United States government.
Not too bad. It came rather quickly, didn't it?
Did you get yours too?
No, but I went running to the mailbox yesterday afternoon.
I was stunned to see it. I'm not kidding you. I've said, what is that? And then I went, COVID-19 at home test. I didn't order that. And I went, yes, you did, Paul. From the government. You filled out the little form that they put up the day before they were supposed to be active.
Right.
Live, call it what you will.
And you know what, Paul?
Here.
We should warn people, check your mailbox if you ordered those tests, because they shouldn't sit out in the cold for long.
Oh, that's a good point.
So docs are saying, get it out of the cold and don't use it right away if it's been in the cold, because the cold can somehow affect the results, possibly.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, because it says the cold limit here is 36 degrees. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was out there. I don't know how long, but it was out there, and it was a lot colder than 36 degrees. Thankfully, it wasn't what it is now, 6 degrees. Eee. You know, when it's 6 degrees, when Dana said, and the wind chill, I go, who cares what the wind chill is? It's 6 degrees, Dave. but the wind chill is 7 below.
Oh, man.
Luckily, your COVID test does not know the wind chill, but it does know it's 6 degrees. So good point. And you got to check your mailbox as soon as the mail comes today, because you don't want it sitting out in this cool temperature. Oh, boy, that second New York police officer, NYPD officer, died yesterday of the two young guys. He was the senior guy, 27 years, 4 years, 27-year-old, 4 years on the force, Wilbert Mora. Earlier, Jason Rivera, who just started, 22 years of age. He died Friday. All because they went to try to help somebody in a domestic problem, the most dangerous calls you can get, but killed by a guy that never should have been out of prison. We have got to stop letting these people out, giving them breaks they don't deserve, so that they can commit crime time and time again. My God.
What a tragedy, Paul.
An unbelievable tragedy.
Heartbreaks.
For a couple of young kids, young heroes on the New York City Police Department. 6:15 at WJR.
At Huntington, we've been asking ourselves, is there a way to make payday faster? And good news, everyone. Now, if your direct deposit is set up at Huntington, we'll make your paycheck available to you up to 2 days early and with no added cost to you. If you're wondering, why would a bank do that? We get it. But for us, it's about looking out for people. That's how we reinvent banking. Huntington, welcome. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply. Learn more at huntington.com/earlypay.
We've got some great Huntington executives joining the team this morning. Team Huntington with the Economic Outlook Day here on the Paul W. Smith Show at now 6:16. The NFL playoffs, unbelievable. How are they going to ever top themselves? Well, you can top them by getting involved in the action with a risk-free bet on FanDuel Sportsbook. Doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or already have an account. All customers, every one of us, get up to $10 back if your same-game parlay doesn't win. Same-game parlays let you combine multiple bets from one matchup for a big, big payout. You can combine bets on the money line, point spread, player stats, and so much more. There's so many good players out there to do a little betting on. I love betting with the FanDuel Sportsbook. It's the market leader, America's #1 sportsbook. It's easy to use, easy to place your bet, fast payouts in as little as 2 hours unless you're reinvesting. It's the official sports betting partner of the NFL. That's truly legitimate. Now, if you already have an account, place your risk-free same-game parlay on any conference championship round game to qualify. New customers join today with promo code PaulW, one word, PaulW, to get your risk-free bet. Plus, if it is your first time betting with FanDuel, you can enjoy 30-1 odds on any team in the divisional round to win after using the promo code PaulW. You can turn a $5 bet into $150. Promo code PaulW on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
21 and older and present in Michigan. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Maximum bonus $10. Restrictions.
Hello, Eric.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Do we want to do just audio only for this portion?
Yeah, I apologize. I have my laptop wired in, and I'm not getting a connection to you guys. I can't see any of the screens.
So there is
you want me to turn that one off just so it doesn't interfere?
Sure. Yeah, going ahead there. All right, I'm gonna pull myself out. Well, we'll bring you in the next section, okay?
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't know you guys were doing audio on all this stuff now, or
Yeah,
video.
it's kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna pull you out.
Support for our program is a true honor. With their generous gift, we'll be able to pursue new discoveries in research, expand our excellence in clinical care, and build an even stronger program. The gift will establish the Peter D. and Julie F. Cummings Endowed Chair to the Head and Neck Cancer Program at Henry Ford, and I'm so proud to serve as the inaugural chair.
I can't imagine what it feels like to make such an impact for your patients and to be on the forefront of new treatments and research for cancer.
It's so exciting when physicians and philanthropists come together to shape the future of medicine at Henry Ford. This gift will unlock tremendous opportunities for growth and innovation for our world-class head and neck cancer program. The entire team here at Henry Ford would like to thank Peter and Julie Cummings for their gift, and our patients will benefit for decades to come.
Thanks, Dr. Ganem. To learn more about how the Henry Ford system is making the impossible possible, listen for more great stories throughout the year or visit henryford.com/cancer.
The market is constantly changing. The Marketplace Minute keeps you up to date 1 minute at a time before your morning exercise.
Alexa, play Marketplace Minute. All operators file for bankruptcy.
While organizing your receipts.
Hey Siri, play Marketplace Minute.
Says it's been spending more on hiring.
During your afternoon snack.
Hey Google, play the Marketplace Minute. Upward swings in indices in Europe and Asia.
The Marketplace Minute, a podcast and smart speaker briefing updated 3 times daily. Ask your smart speaker to play the Marketplace Minute. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
Still watching that closure along the Jeffries 96 eastbound between Beach Daily and Telegraph. A multi-vehicle crash there. Traffic about 5 minutes, a delay from Inkster Road, but just take 5 Mile or Plymouth instead. Hines Drive still closed. Both directions between Outer Drive and Ann Arbor Trail closed due to flooding. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. NECA contractors like the Talbot Corporation are powering Michigan's future project after project on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org.
Colder for us here today, mix of clouds and sun. Temperatures only reaching highs today in the middle to upper teens. Partly cloudy tonight near 4, mostly cloudy, not as cold tomorrow. A few flurries, even a couple of snow showers possible, upper 20s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel on Newstalk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to more Paul W. Smith on WJR. Sponsored today by Huntington Bank. Paul's coming to you live from the Huntington Bank Economic Outlook and Market Preview Show. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
Lots going on, and there's some very good news out there. In January, in fact, the U.S. Census Bureau announced that 5.4 million new business applications were filed in 2021. That surpasses the record set in 2020 of 4.4 million. The 2021 applications represent a 35% increase compared to pre-pandemic filings in 2019. Lucky for us, we're about to speak with Eric Dietz, Huntington Bank Southeast Michigan Regional President, joining Huntington in 2012, previously served as the private bank regional director for the Southeast and Mid-Michigan regions before being appointed regional president in June of 2019. It should be pointed out for this conversation, Eric is a financial services veteran with more than 30 years of diverse experience, including 25 years in the commercial sector. Eric, good morning. Welcome into our Huntington Economic Outlook show.
Good morning, Paul. Thanks for having me this morning.
Well, it is a pleasure having you and your expertise. We are seeing clearly an increase in new small businesses. Is that out of necessity because of COVID? What are your thoughts? Why are we seeing that
Yeah,
increase?
first of all, I'm amazed as well, and we are, and it's just great to see. I think a lot of it is just the labor market with the pandemic. So many people are walking away from their jobs and are looking for another opportunity. And we saw the job losses and the reduction of hours with everybody being furloughed. As I said, other stable careers that have had time to self-reflect on what they want to do and what their life's goals were. So a lot of this is causing this surge, Paul. And we feel, there's a silver lining with these challenging times, and it's just a renewed optimism. People are out there, and they are not hesitant to start a new business.
Well, that is a silver lining. And what are you seeing from these, I'll call them aspiring entrepreneurs that are right here in Detroit?
Well, we're uniquely positioned, Paul, because we're the number one SBA lender in the country. So it just really gives us a chance to lean in and do what we can and what we normally do to help drive the economic impact here in Detroit. So one new business program that we came up with last year is called Lift Local. And we already took $7.6 million in applications last year. And it's really been a great program for us to lead with in Detroit.
Eric, we've talked about the Lift Local program in the past, but for people who weren't with us during that conversation, what exactly is the Lift Local program from Huntington?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. We came out with a $40 billion community plan when we acquired TCF last year. And with that plan goes, how do we allow people access to capital? We're often accused of wanting to lend money as an industry to people that can prove they don't need it. And we want to reverse that trend. We want to show people that are, women who haven't had access, minorities that haven't had access. There's a focus on veteran-owned businesses. And that's really what this program is all about. We allow the government to step in and guarantee this as well. So it allows us to do more and be able to say yes more often to a lot of these startups and people who maybe before just thought they couldn't start their own business and didn't have the capabilities or the access. We're providing that, and it's very rewarding for us. We really feel this program is one that's going to continue to take off here in Detroit and the surrounding area.
Maybe go online or stop at a Huntington branch, or what would be the best way to get more information when you think you can benefit from the Lift Local program?
What we decided to do with that program is to offer it through our branch. So any one of our branch managers is skilled on delivering this program. And that's unique. Historically, it's always been done through a business banker, that sits outside of the branch network, or maybe, one for every 6 branches. Now we have every branch manager involved, and it's very exciting.
Excellent idea there. And in fact, the whole idea of Detroit is important to Huntington. We've watched this happen as Huntington continues to grow. Talk a little bit, Eric, about Detroit being truly an important part of your whole efforts. Important geography is one way of putting it.
Yeah, and I would even take it a step further, Paul. I would talk about the state of Michigan. So Southeast is obviously the biggest region that we have in the state, but we have the number one branch position in the state of Michigan. And that's for a reason. We see this as an opportunity. As you know, we're based down in Columbus, but we have decided to co-locate our commercial bank. So our commercial bank is going to be headquartered in the city of Detroit. We are moving to the city of Detroit, and that will become our co-headquarters.
Well, I know that you're very involved in Detroit. Certainly all of Michigan is important, but here in Detroit, you serve on the board of the Metro Detroit Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. You're a member of the executive committee. You're a board member of Forgotten Harvest. You're very much involved in our community, and we really appreciate that. Talk a little bit more about the commercial bank and what more you can share.
Yeah, Paul, it's a big segment for us. It really stems around our middle market team, and they're probably the powerhouse of all the groups that we have. But we have large corporate, we have specialty banking. We do a lot in the franchise space. Commercial real estate is a big segment, and then we also pulled in some new inventory finance with our TCF merger. So very, very excited about what we have going on in the commercial sector. And then last but not least is our auto floor plan. We take a lot of pride in running a very sound an extremely capable program to support all the dealers that we have throughout the state of Michigan.
Well, I'm sure you're a very proud Spartan, MSU graduate with your degree in finance. You've put it to very good use with the Huntington team, and it's always a pleasure catching up with you. Quick last thought.
Paul, it's just amazing. I would just say that, never give up. Whether you're an individual that is leaning into something new and different, we don't give up. We're going to continue to look for new programs. Our community plan is robust, and it's just getting started. So,
excellent.
Thankfully, people are doing the right thing and starting businesses, and we all know that adds jobs, and it's going to be a lot of fun over the next 5 years.
Eric Dietz, Huntington Bank Southeast Michigan Regional President. Thank you, sir.
Are you a small business owner trying to figure out the best tech options for your small business? Join Dell Technologies on Thursday, January 27th for a free webinar to break it all down and get you pointed in the right direction. To register, visit startupnation.com/Dell.
Jim was getting ready to transfer a $65,000 deposit for a new house. The morning of the wire transfer, he got an email giving him new banking instructions. Little did he know, cyber criminals had sent this fraudulent email. Now Jim is out $65,000 and isn't moving. Independent and Michigan-based Liberty Title can protect your real estate transaction with their umbrella program that ensures and secures your closing dollars. You have a choice. Choose libertytitle.com.
There's no question that inflation is having a big impact on people. What does it mean for you in 2022 and beyond? Hey, it's Cat Oswald. Join Dean Barber and I as we talk about today's inflationary environment. Join us Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. right here on WJR AM 760.
Paul W. here, just like you. I've done my best to keep building my nest egg, but my years of accumulating will come to an end eventually. And frankly, it's never too late. In fact, now's the time to turn to an expert that can help preserve my money, someone that can safely transform all these risky dollars into steady, predictable income dollars. That's why I turned to Chris Alberta at Principium. Chris and his team showed me the real difference between what's risky and what's safe. They taught Kim and I how we could cut our fees nearly in half and pay far less in income taxes when we retire. Chris spent more time than I ever expected building and reviewing options for us so that we can feel confident in retirement. It's time to take control of your financial future and not rely on the government, the stock market, or simply unexpected luck to provide us with financial stability. It's time to call Principium. Call Chris at 888-800-8949. Set up a no-obligation visit to discuss your retirement. Just like me, you'll be glad you did.
I'm Chris Foster. President Biden says he'll consider personal economic sanctions against Russian President Vladimir Putin if Russian troops invade Ukraine. A Kremlin spokesman says that would be politically destructive, but not painful to Putin.
Moscow accuses America of, quote, flooding Ukraine with weapons, more of which arrived there yesterday. The tone here in Moscow is that it is the U.S. and NATO that are ratcheting up the tensions, particularly after that announcement that 8,500 U.S. troops are, in fact, on high alert, possibly to deploy to Eastern Europe.
Fox's Amy Kellogg in Moscow. The Fed announces policy this afternoon.
The central bank is expected to signal that it's ready to raise interest rates as soon as March and that it will be considering other policy tightening moves. Earlier this month, Fed Chair Jerome Powell called high inflation a severe threat to a full recovery and said the economy no longer needed emergency support.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Macy's. It's Macy's Big Home Sale. Stock up on fresh sheets and bedding from Charter Club, Damask Designs, or shop specials, like air fryers from Bella, Crux, and more, and the spacious 4-piece Radley sectional. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees.
96 westbound at US 23, new accident in Livingston County is blocking that right shoulder. So that closure, actually a rollover crash that is along the Jeffries. It's along 96 eastbound between Beach Daily and Telegraph, closed there due to that rollover crash. You can take 5 Mile or Plymouth instead, seeing that delay from at least Inkster Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Well, it's going to be even colder than it was yesterday with the wind chill. It currently feels like it's -7 outside. Sunshine to start, afternoon clouds, a high of 16. The wind chill will still be in the single digits later today. Tonight, clouds, low 7. Cloudy skies, a few flurries or snow showers possible on Thursday, a high of 28 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather first.
They're creepy and they're kooky and they're on stage at Riverbank Theater in Marine City. The Addams Family Musical runs January 28th through February 27th and is fun for the whole family. Tickets on sale now. Visit riverbanktheater.com to purchase.
Hi, I'm Connie Holzer, and I'm so proud to be a part of Ford Motor Company. Ford continues to improve itself by building better, safer, and more fuel-efficient cars and trucks every year. Stop by and see us at 10 Mile and Haggerty in Farmington Hills. Give us a chance to earn your business and your trust. Everyone here thanks you for continuing to support our Michigan economy by buying American, buying Ford, and buying from Tom Holzer Ford. Thank you.
Now WJR Health Watch. Here's Dick Hafner.
Winter is prime time for respiratory illnesses like sinus infections. Dr. Ismail Amjad is an otolaryngologist at the McLaren Health System in Fenton, Flint, and Metamora, and says there's a long list of sinus problems.
An acute sinusitis, which is a new infection of short duration. You can have chronic sinusitis, infections that extend for longer periods of time. You can have recurrent sinusitis, people who get infections multiple times a year, more than most people would. You can have sinus infections that are caused by viruses, by bacteria. The people with chronic sinusitis, but not an infection.
Most sinus infections are viral. Saline rinses into the nose are often helpful.
A squirt bottle will work. You can mix varying concentrations of salt with baking soda and water.
Dr. Amjad says many people who develop sinusitis think they have coronavirus. Here's the giveaway.
The facial pressure. Coronavirus or the flu shouldn't cause necessarily facial pressure, and that's usually...
Hello, Jill. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. So, turns out Paul's not able to do video for today's broadcast. So it's up to you. Do you want to continue with the video live stream, or do you want to just call the station and do audio only?
It's fine. I'll call the station and do audio if he's not able to do video.
Okay. Okay. I think that's what we're talking about on our end as well. So I'm just going to pull us both out, and you know the number to call?
Could you give it to me again, please?
Yes. I will put it in the private chat.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on.
Great. I see it.
Okay. Hang on. Apparently, they would like you to remain on video if that's okay. Is that okay?
That's fine. So is it being live streamed? Because I was trying to watch on my phone when
Yeah.
Eric Dietz was on, and I didn't see any video.
Yeah, no, his video wasn't working, so we had to make an exception for him. So I'm gonna put the station back in and pull myself out, and I will put us back in when the section starts. Okay?
Okay, great. And how's the
Alrighty.
lighting? Because from my
The
end,
lighting
it
looks great. The lighting looks great.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Joe.
Thanks.
Guys are quote unquote having quite a moment right now.
Yes, we are, and it's it's great. Yesterday was just for all of us who grew up here in Michigan and have worked a long time in Michigan, it feels pretty good because $7 billion back into Michigan in our manufacturing facilities. $4 billion of that into Orion, right up the road here, to retool that for the new Silverado and Sierra, and $2.6 billion on a new cell plant over in Lansing, which if you've never been in one of these, it's 2.8 million square feet.
Wow,
which is like a small city, and it's really something to behold. So to have those and then have the jobs to go with it, 4,000 brand new jobs. Another 1,000 retained in the Orion plant that we have today. And then, that growth is split between roughly 2,300 in Orion, new jobs, and then 1,700 in the new cell plant over there. So it's really a lot of jobs and a lot of capacity and a lot of money into the Michigan economy. So we can make Michigan and the Midwest the epicenter of R&D, EVs, and manufacturing here for years to come, and that's really what we're trying to do.
And we can't. Well, let me reiterate. Can't say it enough. For a company that's invested a heck of a lot in their hometown and in their home state, this total $7 billion investment, new investment from GM, is the single largest in company history, and most of it is going to the EVs. We're talking about all in. We're all in as a company and as a state. It's I think the way they put it in this morning's Detroit News, Kalia Hall, Craig Mauger, and Brianna Noble, it's the bet to give General Motors $824 million in state incentives, most of $6.6 billion in electric vehicle projects. Might be risky for the state, but many believe it's necessary for Michigan to stay in the race for the auto jobs of the future as the industry pivots to electrification. So it really is it's a gamble, it's a bet, but it's got to feel good that your state is all in with the company.
Well, I think it really is, and you can look at it as a bet, but I would say the bet, we do what we say we're going to do as a company, and so it's people like Jerry Garcia, Governor Whitmer, Clinton, there are so many people that really collaborated on this. Jerry Garcia, like I said, from DTE, people like Walbridge, the Ricoltas, Bob Kaiser and Kaiser, their company, Wjr Kaiser, really put our paint shops on the map. So those are the kind of Michigan-based companies that are going to help us do this. And that collaboration, along with the state, is something really, that's how you win. And so I couldn't be prouder of the collaboration and the partnerships that we've had. And, the state is definitely, making a bet of sorts, but it's a very good competitive environment that they're creating in Michigan for business and jobs. So, that's the bottom line.
It's all big. It's all good. And we're really all in this together. There you are with the governor and Mary making the big announcements. And then you've got Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey of Clark Lake, who was at the event too, saying the economic well-being of our state isn't a partisan matter. High-quality jobs don't have a party affiliation. We really are all in this together.
And it was great. I sat next to him yesterday, and I had never really met him face-to-face because of all the challenges that we have with the pandemic and everything else. But
right.
Huge supporter of business, and like you say, Paul, he really, he said it so well. It is not bipartisan, for us to move this state forward economically with great jobs.
Let me help you because it's early in the morning. You said it's not bipartisan. I think you mean it is. It is bipartisan.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
That's okay. It's early, man. Believe me, it's very early.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mark, I'm always covering your back.
I know you're helping me. You got my back this morning. I appreciate that.
It's not a political decision. It's not a partisan.
No.
It's a bipartisan decision to do this.
And
everybody involved should understand that. And they do, certainly with Mike saying what he said.
He did. And, there's a couple other folks that really articulated it well on the, putting food on the table, college educations, all the small businesses that, that benefit from having a healthy economy and investment and, stability for the future. And that's really what it is. And whether it's software or hardware or electric vehicles, all of those things are going to be involved with cell plants and assembly plants and the R&D and engineering that will be in Michigan as a result of this. So it's a great story for the future.
Mark Royce, General Motors president, is here. And let me tell you something. I hope and pray I look as good at 70 as the new Corvette with the
I was just seeing the new 70th there.
70th edition. 70th. How do I word this? It's this That's 70th anniversary? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
70th anniversary Corvette.
I got your back.
Thank you. Thank you. It is early. But this is America's iconic sports car. Just gets better and better and better. When can people put in their reservation or buy this Corvette? I guess it's a 2023 edition, but when can we?
It is.
When can we see? When's it jump out of the cake?
Yeah. We'll start 2023 orders here very shortly. We're almost done with the 22 piece of it because we're trying to, the order bank's full. So it'll be very shortly here. You can order it, and then we're behind in Bowling Green on Corvette. To be very, very honest, and we always have been since we started it. But the pandemic hasn't helped, and the supply chain issues have not helped. We're doing the best we can, and the team down there is fantastic. So you put the order in, we'll get you one made.
Okay, thank you for that. And since we're being very honest, because you just said that, Mark, so will the Corvette be in the Super Bowl ads?
Let me think about that for a minute.
You should know that the headline that caused me to ask that question says, GM remains mum on new Super Bowl ads. So I'm just trying to trick you into telling us.
Well, I want to keep my job. I like my job, and I will remain mum.
Okay. It's early, and I didn't want you to stumble into trouble when Mary gets back from the White House.
Thank you.
Mark, would you come to my office, please?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, congratulations on everything. It's a great investment in the great state of Michigan and in jobs, and doing everything you can to make sure that Detroit maintains the Motor City image, even with these electric vehicles. God bless you, Mark, and always a pleasure talking with you.
Thanks, Paul W., and thanks to all of our partners, and thanks for all you do. Optimism and positivity, that's what makes it happen, right?
Well, I try to be that way. It's not easy these days, but I do try my best. General Motors President, Mr. Mark Royce, on the Paul W. Smith Show, WJR, the Huntington Economic Outlook Show, by the way, as we continue.
Studies show that contamination of a single commonly touched surface in an office can impact 40 to 60% of other surfaces in less than half a day of operations. I'm John Ezzo, President of New Image Building Services. We've been helping design and service infection control plans for over 33 years. Let's build a plan for your business today.
Call New Image Building Services today at 586-465-4420 or visit newimagebldg.com.
Yikes, 6:45, and we're copying yesterday, the temperature moving in the wrong direction. We've gone from 6 degrees, feeling like 7 below. What difference does it make? At 6 degrees, it's cold enough. But now it's down a degree, 5 degrees here at 6:46. This week's IHS Market Minute with Stephanie Brindley is brought to you by Dana. Dana. People finding a better way. Dana. Stephanie?
Many automakers have announced massive investment targets for transitioning to an electric vehicle future, with global investment plans tallying well over $300 billion through 2030. In 2022, we have entered a phase where announcements will increasingly surround specific investments. General Motors yesterday announced investment of $7 billion to support EV production in Michigan. Ford, Toyota, Hyundai, and Rivian have also recently announced North American EV manufacturing plans. These are only the beginning. IHS Markit forecasts electric vehicle production will account for nearly 34% of all North American light vehicle output in 2030, compared with only 4% in 2021. And EV production is expected to continue to grow after that. Incorporating meaningful EV production volume into automotive landscape requires manufacturing investment. For automakers to meet self-imposed targets for later this decade, changes to manufacturing need to begin in short order, which will drive a flurry of investment announcements. I'm Stephanie Brindley, and this has been an IHS Market Minute.
In the quest for a more sustainable future, hydrogen fuel cells offer many advantages for mobility OEMs around the world. The current cost of fuel cell technology, though, feeds skepticism in the commercial market. Dana overcomes those challenges. Dana is the first company to deliver performance, cost, and manufacturing synergies for key components in fuel cell stacks. Through our proven design and in-house automation expertise, we combine material coating, forming, and sealing together in a single integrated product. Dana's breakthrough innovation can save OEMs up to 10% on the total production cost of the fuel cell stack. If you believe in a more sustainable future, Dana's award-winning technology will help you get there. Dana, people finding a better way.
Cybercrime and identity theft through real estate transactions is a $2 billion industry. Split closings make you even more vulnerable to cybercrime. Don't risk your money. You have a choice when it comes to your title company for your real estate transaction. Independent and Michigan-based Liberty Title can protect your real estate transaction with their umbrella cybercrime insurance policy that secures your closing dollars. You have a choice. Choose libertytitle.com. Protecting your money since 1974.
WJR Traffic and Weather first from the WinBet Traffic and Weather Center. Download the WinBet app today on the Apple Store or Google Play. Win with WinBet.
This report is sponsored by Macy's. It's Macy's Big Home Sale. Stock up on fresh sheets and bedding from Charter Club, Damask Designs, or shop specials like air fryers from Bella, Crux, and more. And the spacious 4-piece Radley sectional. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees.
Still watching that closure and seeing a new problem along 96 westbound at US 23. Accident blocking the right shoulder. New accident 275 northbound after 8 Mile, also on the right shoulder. Disabled vehicle 75 northbound at 11 Mile. That vehicle is blocking the right lane. And that closure along the Jeffries, 96 eastbound between Beach Daily and Telegraph. Rollover crash there has that area shut down. Seeing now a 30-minute delay from Middle Belt. Just take 5 Mile or Plymouth instead. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Gordon Chevrolet. Buying or leasing a vehicle today can be almost impossible unless you buy the Gordon Chevrolet way. Experts in early lease turn-ins or lease extensions that help you avoid penalties and match the delivery date of your new vehicle. Ford Road, just west of Merriman in Garden City. Gordon Chevrolet, find new roads.
Mix of clouds and sunshine today, colder, high 17. For tonight, mostly cloudy skies Thursday, not quite as cold. A couple of flurries or a couple of light snow showers possible, 28. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ken Boone on News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to more Paul W. Smith on WJR. Sponsored today by Huntington Bank. Paul's coming to you live from the Huntington Bank Economic Outlook and Market Preview Show. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
Jill K. Garvey, CPA, CFP, Senior Vice President and Senior Wealth Strategist of Huntington Private Bank, a very important part of our Huntington Economic Outlook. And I note, Jill, you are also a Spartan from MSU, joining Eric Dietz. You got a lot of MSU grads there on the team.
That's right, Paul. We do. Very proud Spartans.
Well, you have lots to be proud of. Tough game last night, losing by 1 point, but man, oh man, those free throws, they're unbelievably important, and that was certainly, I mean, it was sad they got to that position, but that point, but still, got to make the free throws. Anyway, you provide the leadership and strategic direction in the areas of business succession, estate, and wealth transfer planning. And as I understand it, 2021 was a record year for business owners selling their businesses. Now, do you see that trend continuing in 2022?
Yes, Paul, we do. I mean, the activity, the deal activity was so robust last year, and our forecast into 2022 is absolutely as robust. We continue to see so much activity. And of course, there are many factors for that.
I'm wondering, in fact, what some of the factors support this trend or that conclusion that we've made here with the trend continuing.
Well, absolutely. We see significant cash on the sidelines. Our client balance sheets, not just in the great state of Michigan, but nationally in all of the markets we serve, our client balance sheets are really, really strong despite the headwinds of the labor market challenges and supply chain and commodity issues. So those factors, coupled with low interest rates and a desire of many of the baby boomers to sell their businesses, whether that's related to lack of a succession plan, or as Eric mentioned earlier, we see a lot of people that have changed their goals and their outlook for their future. So they may be more interested in selling now versus a few years ago.
You know, that's maybe for another time, another story that how you do help businesses, family businesses, with a succession plan. I only hear about it and hear about sometimes how difficult it is, but how helpful would it be? My goodness, Jill, having you there who have held the hands of other family businesses and helped them get through the trials and tribulations of succession. You've done it. And for most of these family businesses, it's the first time they've approached something like this. And it's a rocky road for many, but you can help them. So maybe another day we'll talk about that. But how are you advising business owners and other individuals who are experiencing the supply chain issues, the liquidity events in this current economic climate?
One of the main things we hear from our clients who are experiencing the liquidity event is this may be the largest amount of cash that they have ever had in their life because most of their wealth was tied up in their business. So they may not be very astute with respect to investing in the markets. So that's where it's so gratifying, Paul, to be able to work with them on not only their short and intermediate term goals and objectives, but really focus on what they want to accomplish long term, so then we can give them the best advice possible. We've seen that the markets have been very volatile as of late, and we expect today to be a very wild Wednesday. So it's very important to sit down with our clients and focus on their financial goals, their non-financial goals, and you just alluded to that. That's a very important conversation as well. So when we can help clients focus on their lifestyle goals versus their legacy goals, how they want to help their family and their friends over the long term. And then, of course, many people with whom we work have charitable goals. So we can help them talk about all of that and then determine the best way to invest their liquidity to meet those goals.
Well, you balance your life with a thought toward philanthropy and charitable goals, serving on the philanthropy committee for Leader Dogs for the Blind and the Schoolcraft College Foundation Planned Giving Committee. So you're living that life. And I know that people who have built their business kind of feel invincible, but you built your business. Yes, you did that well. That's your business. But she's in the business, Jill Garvey is in the business at Huntington, of helping you pass all that along. So I know you built the business, and that's fabulous, but this isn't your expertise. It's Jill's expertise. So what are your top financial planning recommendations for the new year?
Well, number one, Paul, I would recommend that given the market volatility, it's great to really check in with your current investment portfolio and make sure that you have that asset mix right. If you've been up at night checking your portfolio every day and can't stomach the volatility, maybe it's time to change that asset mix. So that's number one. Number two, I think it's very important to revisit your estate plan. Do you have a will? Do you have a trust, a durable power of attorney, a patient advocate form? Most of my clients want to control who gets their assets, when, and how. You do not want the state in which you live to control that. So having an estate plan is very important. And then finally, you have to act upon that estate plan. So revisit the titling of your assets and your beneficiary designations to make sure that your assets are getting to the appropriate people. And I would say those are the top three things to focus on.
Well, that's excellent advice and important advice. And I wanted to salute you, too, as the past chair of the Michigan Association of Certified Public Accountants, a financial planning task force, and being such a strong proponent of educating and promoting women to achieve their potential. You, in fact, if I recall, successfully led the Women's Initiative while at another bank. But now you're here with Huntington, and Huntington's glad you are, and so am I. Jill K. Garvey, CPA, CFP, Senior Vice President, Senior Wealth Strategist, Huntington Private Bank. Thanks for being with us, Jill. We appreciate it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
As we continue on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR, the Huntington Economic Outlook Show.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during our January sale, save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
When you fill your prescriptions at Walgreens, you can track the progress of your order in real time. Know the price of your prescriptions before you go to pick them up. And anytime you have questions, use Pharmacy Chat to ask an expert 24 hours a day. Help with your meds from Walgreens. Side effects may include breathing a little easier because your prescription stress melted away. Learn more on the Walgreens app.
This price isn't final. This is an estimated price based on your insurance coverage.
Pain is a four-letter word that evokes a lot of different emotions: anguish, despair, hopelessness, and depression. I've got another four-letter word for you: hope. Hope inspires us, gives us reason to be optimistic and look forward to better days to come. At the intersection of pain and hope, you'll find Pain-Free Life Centers in Troy, Michigan. I'm Jeff Morton, the Center Director for Pain-Free Life Centers. For over a decade now, we've been taking pain and turning it into hope. Thanks to our exclusive high-intensity, high-dose laser therapy, we've been changing lives both physically and mentally. What would your life be like if you weren't suffering with your chronic pain? Stop asking yourself that question and call us right now. Pain-Free Life Centers can turn your pain into hope. We're so confident in what we do, your consultation and first treatment are totally free. You truly have nothing to lose but your pain. But you got to make the call. Call Pain-Free Life Centers today at 248-879-1100 or visit painfreelifecenters.com.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
Russia brushes off the latest U.S. threats. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Biden considering sanctions on leader Vladimir Putin in addition to his country if there's a Ukraine invasion.
There are going to be serious economic consequences if he moves.
Russia says that would not be painful, but would be politically destructive. Fox's Simon Owen live in Kiev.
And Dave, in the middle of these high tensions between Russia and the West, Ukrainians are waiting for news. Some people here say they're anxious and worried. Others are defiant, insisting Ukraine is ready to fight if needs be. One man told me, when you have a neighbor like Russia, you should be ready for unpleasant surprises. In the meantime, Kiev is bustling as usual. The roads are busy, people are at work, and in the evenings, bars and restaurants are crowded. Dave?
Simon, amid COVID's record surge from the Omicron variant, there's news of a subvariant, possibly harder to detect, but the World Health Organization says it's not a concern.
BA2 is now showing up in parts of Asia, Europe, and a few places in the U.S. like Texas and Washington State. And so far, there is no evidence that BA2 is more contagious or more severe than BA1.
Fox's Trace Gallagher, sheriff's deputy, shot early this morning at a traffic stop in Milwaukee by a passenger who had fled and was running away. The deputy is conscious and being treated. In New York,
hundreds of uniformed officers seen outside New York's NYU Langone Hospital Tuesday after word quickly spread that 27-year-old police officer Wilbert Mora, who was gravely injured while responding to a domestic incident in Harlem last Friday, did not survive.
Fox's Laura Engel, another officer, was also killed by that gunman who died, too. A first-in-the-nation requirement for gun owners in San Jose, California. The city council approved it last night.
We require every gun owner in the city to have insurance, just as every driver has to have insurance to use a car.
Mayor Sam Liccardo, gun owner right advocates are vowing to sue. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Macy's. It's Macy's Big Home Sale. Stock up on fresh sheets and bedding from Charter Club, Damask Designs, or shop specials, like air fryers from Bella, Crux, and more, and the spacious 4-piece Radley sectional. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift card services and fees.
Traffic First also sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA, and IBEW Local 58. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors and IBEW electricians to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. Productivity and innovation matter. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. Disabled vehicle is clear from 75 northbound at 11 Mile. Quite a few accidents out there on the roadways right now, though. 275 northbound at 8 Mile, accident blocking the right shoulder. 96 eastbound after Novi Road, new accident also on the right shoulder. 96 westbound at US 23, collision is blocking that right lane. And the Jeffries, a rollover crash causing the closure of Jeffries 96 eastbound between Beach Daly and Telegraph. A traffic delayed from at least Middle Belt, a 30-minute backup there. Just take Plymouth or 5 Mile instead. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Shelving.com provides high-quality storage products for a variety of industries, from Unirack pallet racking and pushback high-density racking in distribution centers to its selection of MetroMax polymer shelving, ideal for food service and healthcare. That's Shelving.com. We rack your world. We remain in the deep freeze for at least another day. Sunshine to start, a few afternoon clouds, eventually a high of 16, but it's just going to feel like it's in the single digits. Tonight, a few passing clouds, overnight low 7. A little bit better on Thursday, clouds, a few flurries or snow showers possible, a high of 28. Currently 5 degrees with the wind chill, feels like -7. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Welcome to Spotlight on Excellence with Wayne State University Vice President for Economic Development, Ned Stabler. Ned, the vision of Wayne State as a lightning rod for our local and state economies begins in your office.
Well, the university has always been attractive to business, industry, and research. But yes, 10 years ago, Wayne State leadership made a solid commitment to create economic growth by forming the Office of Economic Development.
And the numbers don't lie. It's been a good 10 years, yes?
Yeah, $300 million in research funding annually. We're the 10th largest employer in the city. We have a $2.4 billion annual economic impact. The impressive numbers really go on and on. But what doesn't carry a dollar sign are the lives that have been improved thanks to this growth.
Talk about that.
Partnerships that help grow thousands of small businesses, largely Black and women owned. Investments made in our Midtown neighborhood. It's all had a ripple effect on our city, and we're just getting started.
Well, what's the goal for the next 10 years?
Our goal is to continue being a catalyst for growth in our city and state, creating equitable opportunity and lasting prosperity for all.
Thanks, Ned. Learn more about Wayne State's impact on economic growth at economicdevelopment.wayne.edu.
Hey, Joe, I thought you were retired.
Living on a fixed income is tough. So here I am, an essential worker.
I know. I mean, food prices are going up every day. Thank goodness for benefitscheckup.org.
Benefits what?
Benefitscheckup.org. It's a free website where people over 60 can find help to pay for food, medicine, even utilities. I got $1,200 a year in benefits. Maybe it can help you.
Bet with your friends on WynnBET Sportsbook today using promo code SCORE to get up to $1,000 toward a risk-free sports bet. Sign up now at WYNNBet.com. Offer subject to change, terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
From the Huntington Bank Economic Outlook and Market Preview Show, this is Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR. Paul's broadcast is sponsored by Huntington Bank. Here's Paul.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is the 26th day of 2022 with 339 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. We have a twofer today, not just the great Huntington Economic Outlook show, our annual event here proudly on the Paul W. Smith Show, but it is Wednesday, and as Dana can tell you, Wednesdays are special.
It's hump day.
And the camel, by the way, never gets any credit, but the camel right there with Dana, proclaiming it being hump day. The team is together. Our WJR senior news analysts, Fox News correspondents, best guests, and of course, you are an important part of the best radio audience in all of radio, and we appreciate that. Sean Baligian and Thomas by my side, and I can't count how many times we have all been in agreement that the Super Bowl should not be on a Sunday, but on a Saturday.
Yes.
How many times have we talked about that? Every year.
Every year.
Leave it to the kids. High school students taking a stand against Super Bowl Sunday and arguably offering a better solution for America's favorite football game. There's an 18-year-old kid named Frank Ruggeri in Palm Bay, Florida. He wants to move the date of the Super Bowl to Saturday instead of Sunday, like a lot of us. He's got a change.org campaign page, which has gained thousands upon thousands of signatures, more than 100,000 signatures and counting. So leave it to the kids. We've been talking about it for years. They're actually doing something about it with a petition to move the Super Bowl finally off Sunday onto Saturday.
That's a great idea, Paul.
Amen. Long overdue.
It really is. I mean, it just makes sense.
Why is it on Sunday? What's the thinking behind that?
Sean, you might have
I don't know the origins. My guess, and this is 1,000% a guess, is that, football has always been on Sunday. The NFL is predominantly Sunday. So that's what they wanted to do. I'll take it a step further. When I was a kid, and I know my son went through this, I could never understand, why does the World Series start at 8:30? They have the pregame show and then 8:30, or the Stanley Cup Finals. They want to put that on at 8 o'clock at night. What's the big idea starting it at 7? And when we were younger, Monday Night Football was always a kickoff at 9 o'clock. I never understood that. Never, for the life of me, never understood that.
Doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And, as far as football goes, and they say, well, Sunday was always a big day for the NFL, but then Monday became a big day, bigger, I would argue, and then Thursday became a big day. I mean, they have had no problem adding football on all these other days. Why not take the granddaddy of them all that causes more people to miss work, causes us economic heartache, if you want to look at it like dollars and cents, and let's just make it on Saturdays. Come on, Mr. Goodell. You make a lot of money. There are two things I'm asking of you. One, get rid of that stupid rule about overtime and flipping a coin and giving the team who wins the coin basically the game. That's one thing you got to change right away. And let's put the Super Bowl on Saturday. It's not a new concept, but it's a very good one, a very sound one. We'll see. Hey, the SAT, I had no idea how old the SAT test is for kids. If I had to take it, it's old. I had to take it.
So did I.
My biggest worry was making sure I had enough sharp number 2 pencils. Not my biggest worry. It was one of my worries. Well, now they're taking the SAT online, all digital. It's going to be shorter, and it'll be on your computer, and that's making a lot of people happy, at least while the SAT is still in favor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A little bit, but that does make some sense. When was the last time you ate at a Chinese restaurant?
I order Chinese all the time,
All
but
the
I
time.
haven't been to
I'm
one
with you, Ann.
lately.
You order it all the time. I just haven't found my special Chinese restaurant around here yet to order and go pick it up. I used to, in a lot of different places I've lived. I had a Chinese restaurant. It's the greatest takeout food.
It is.
Everything lasts. It's very takeoutable. Some food is, some food isn't. You know what I mean?
Totally right, Paul. Yes.
And if you have leftovers in there in the refrigerator, they're even better later, as it turns out. So I always look at my fortune cookie. I look at the fortune. I probably always eat the cookie too, which I honestly don't think they were meant to be eaten. But anyway,
Yeah, they don't taste that good.
They don't taste like they were meant to be eaten. They taste like they were meant to carry a fortune. But if you've looked at that fortune and turn that little strip of paper over, they give you lucky numbers. You remember? Do you guys remember seeing those?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Lucky numbers on the other side of your fortune from your fortune cookie. Well, a North Carolina man just used those numbers from his fortune cookie and won $4 million in the lottery.
Oh.
You're going to have new respect for the numbers on the back of your fortune with your fortune cookie.
Wow. That's really cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's great.
North Carolina man, $4 million in the lottery using the numbers from his fortune cookie. I love the story. But here's a guy who doesn't leave it up to your fortune cookie. He's a little more active in making sure you're successful, and you can be following what he talks about with our WJR Business Beat. Jeff Sloan is founder and CEO of Startup Nation, spotlighting the entrepreneurial tech and startup community right here on WJR. Morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Paul. Yesterday on The Beat, we reported on the most trafficked websites during the past year. Today, we take a closer look at app downloads as a measure of what the hottest apps are these days. And here we go. Coming in at number 3 overall, it's Facebook. Number 2, Instagram. And coming in at the most downloaded app in the United States over the last year, TikTok. By category, hottest games are Among Us, Project Makeover, and Roblox at number 1. For entertainment apps, it's Disney Plus at number 3, then Netflix, and at number 1, HBO Max. For shopping, the app known as Shop, then at number 2, Shine, and finally, of course, at number 1, it's Amazon. For social networking, Snapchat, Instagram at number 2, and at number 1 again, TikTok. Other top apps by category, Uber at number 1 for travel, DoorDash number 1 for food delivery, Tinder for dating, and Spotify for music. So there you have it, Paul. With the billions of apps out there, these are the big winners amongst U.S. consumers over the past year. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, and that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
At Huntington, we've been asking ourselves, is it possible to lend money at zero interest? And it totally is. Introducing Standby Cash. When you need extra...
Hey, John.
Morning.
Good morning. We're just doing a quick little audio test. You sound pretty good, though.
Okay. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks.
cool. I'm going to pull us both out, and I'll pull you back in when it's your section, okay?
No worries. Thank you. Good morning.
Yes, no problem.
Learn more at huntington.com/standbycash.
And John Augustine, Chief Investment Officer of Huntington Private Bank, will join us here in just a moment at 7:19. Looking forward to the conversation. Of course, the cold weather is here, 5 degrees, and it is here to stay. It's Michigan, and it's winter. Lower temperatures can lead to higher bills, but staying comfortable this winter doesn't have to drive up your energy use. Saving energy and money can be simple, like keeping furniture, carpeting, and curtains from blocking heat registers and air return ducts, and cleaning or replacing furnace filters often. That's the one single thing that most of us forget about and should do. Clean or replace your furnace filters often. Visit consumersenergy.com/cold weather. That's consumersenergy.com/cold weather for more tips to save energy and money this season. Consumers Energy. 7:16 with Paul WJR.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during our January sale, save $1,000 on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Ever have questions about your prescriptions, even in the middle of the night? Well, Walgreens now offers pharmacy chat 24/7, so you can ask an expert about things like the correct dosage of your medications or possible side effects. Speaking of side effects, the side effect of getting your questions answered at 2 a.m.? sleeping much easier for the next 6 hours. Try Pharmacy Chat today or tonight, online or on the Walgreens app.
Are you blind or losing vision? Do you feel like it's controlling your life and your decisions, possibly limiting you? Well, I've been there. But through the National Federation of the Blind, I have learned that I don't have to allow blindness to define me, and you don't have to either. To learn more and find the support you need, simply visit blind.org. That's blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Everyone's talking about labor shortages and all the related price increases.
If you're a homeowner or a contractor, we know the struggles you both have trying to find trustworthy people that can help. The Inside Outside guys want to help homeowners and contractors alike with our over 80 years of combined housing experience.
Go where thousands of Michigan homeowners go every month for help with their homes, theinsideoutsideguys.com.
For housing information you can trust, go to theinsideoutsideguys.com.
The Inside Outside Guys are brought to you in part by Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're weeks into the season and it's staying cold. You may have noticed your furnace is quite old. It clanks and it clatters. It isn't quite heating. Through the years, it took quite a beating. A new Bryant gas furnace would be a thrill to keep you cozy and warm with a low energy bill. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning installs and warranties their work. Plus, 0% financing is quite a perk. Tune-ups as low as $59. Give Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning a holler. Sharon'sHeatingandAir.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
WJR Traffic and Weather first.
This report is sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
Few things are clear out there. 96 westbound at US 23. That accident is out of your way. 275 northbound at 8 Mile. Wreck on the right shoulder. 96 eastbound after Novi Road. Accident also blocking that right shoulder. In Macomb, 94 westbound at Metro Parkway. Disabled vehicle blocks the left lane. Jeffries, eastbound between Beach Daily and Telegraph. Still closed there due to that rollover accident. 30-minute delay from Middle Belt. Take 5 Mile or Plymouth instead. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Liberty Title, protecting property since 1974. For over 45 years, Michigan-based Liberty Title has been helping buyers and sellers keep their real estate transactions safe and secure. You get to choose your title company. Don't fall for a split closing that adds to your closing costs. You have a choice. Choose libertytitle.com.
Mix of clouds and sunshine today. Colder 17 for tonight. Mostly cloudy Thursday. Not as cold. A few flurries, even a couple of light snow showers possible. 28. Colder Friday, cloudy. Highs in the teens. I'm Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on Newstalk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to more Paul W. Smith on WJR. Sponsored today by Huntington Bank. Paul's coming to you live from the Huntington Bank Economic Outlook and Market Preview Show. Once again, Paul W. Smith.
And we're happy to celebrate this annual event, the Huntington Economic Outlook show here on the Paul W. Smith Show. You've heard my next guest here on my program, but also probably read some of his thoughts sought by the Wall Street Journal or Reuters or Fox News, Bloomberg, among many others, CNN, CNBC, because of his knowledge, because of his 30 years that he has spent as an investment manager, investment strategist, and economic strategist for various financial institutions. He joined the Columbus-based Huntington Bank in May of 2014 and has been doing a great job ever since. John, nice to catch up with you again.
Good morning, Paul.
I want to get some of your learned thoughts, if you don't mind, on the markets and the economy for this new year we're speeding into here.
Well, first off, happy Fed Day. Today is Fed Day, so in our business, that's important.
What does that mean? Because they're going to make some sort of some announcement that's going to make the stock market shoot up or shoot down?
Yes, at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Then the Fed chair is going to have a press conference at 2:30. So that does cause market volatility for investors, though. Remember, what we tell our group is usually the first direction of markets is not what they end up for the day. So just pointing that out to you.
Oh, First direction of the market. Yeah, well, we've seen that we had 1,000 points, down 1,000 points. We finished up the other day. I mean, it certainly is volatile. There's nothing new here, that's for sure.
There is a wall of cash on the sidelines looking for a home in a zero interest rate environment. It generally finds it in the stock market. That's what's going on right now.
What about our jousting with Russia over Ukraine? I think that makes some investors a little bit nervous.
It did early Monday. That's right or wrong. That's kind of worn off. If we saw that concern markets, what's the two things Russia produces? Natural gas and crude oil. Neither one of those two has moved. So if we did see something, those two markets should move. They're not moving very much.
All right. That's an interesting observation, that's for sure. One of the things that we're dealing with in a big way, in fact, I almost want to say there's a whole generation that didn't even know what inflation was. Well, they're learning now when they go to the grocery store, the gas pump, or any number of other places. How do you think, John Augustine, that inflation is going to play out this year?
So two things on inflation. Number one, commodity prices. And unfortunately, we see that at the gas pump every day. So commodity prices are still elevated. Those need to start to come down. The second thing, it's affecting our auto industry right now, is the supply chains, global supply chains, because a lot of them start in emerging markets. A lot of emerging markets are still locked down because of the virus. So getting emerging markets open, getting supply chains running, getting commodity prices to at least level out, that's what's going to be important to inflation this year. Now, Paul, the expectation is each quarter this year, we're going to see inflation drop down. We hope that's true. If anything's wrong, it doesn't come down as much as expected, but the expectation is it starts to drop, not where it was, 1% to 2%, but maybe comes down to 3% by year end.
Scary predictions from some on interest rate increases, especially on this Fed day. What are your predictions?
Well, our economic team believes the Fed's going to raise 3 times. Now, markets and some economists think 4, so we're light there, just pointing that out first. So we'll get some interest on our savings now, but not a lot compared to what the inflation rate is. Longer term interest rates, say the 10-year treasury, which affects the mortgage market, housing, it's probably going to hit 2%, probably by the middle of this year. Maybe it closes the year a little over 2%. We haven't seen that in a couple years. That should be okay for the economy. That should be okay for the housing market. But we'll see borrowing costs start to lift up a little bit because that's what the Fed wants.
Other than, well, let me put it this way. What's the best thing to do with cash at the moment? Under the mattress is not the best thing ever.
Right now, so the stock market, a lot of attention, a lot of headlines right now. It's the tale of two tapes right now. So as an example, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, so think of big old dividend producing companies, it's only down 5% this year. Now the NASDAQ, a lot of tech companies, a lot of momentum companies we were all hearing about last year, it's down 13%. So to answer your question, there's a lot of companies that produce nice dividends. Those are attractive in a zero interest rate environment. That's where we'd be looking. That's where markets are looking so far this year on a relative basis.
Okay. Still strong on the stock market, and why not? You've got history on your side with that. What's your outlook for small businesses? Frankly, John, I want your outlook, but more importantly, what's your advice to small businesses in this new year?
3 things. Number one, labor, it's tight. We all know that. So small business, just like big business, is going to all have to put their talent management hats on. Those aren't going to go away. So we have to basically attract, train, and retain employees, and the right ones. So each one of us is going to be spending a percentage of our day doing that. That's number one. Number 2, big companies, last 2 years, different environment, excuse me, somehow they've gotten a lot more efficient. So I and my small business need to make sure I'm getting more efficient. Third thing, last year, what we saw with big companies, they were using their balance sheets to go out and buy other companies. Global merger and acquisition activity was at a record. So if I'm a small business, I want to think the same. Is there a way I can expand now on the other side of this? Because I did a good job with my balance sheet over the past 2 years. So those are three things that we see big business doing, makes sense for small business.
Very quickly, with about 30 seconds left, the pandemic continues. What's your best financial guidance for our personal lives right now, John?
For your personal life, stay with your investment programs, even in this market volatility. Usually we get a 10% drop in stocks every year. We just haven't seen it for 2 years. So don't overplay this pullback in stocks. Stay with your investment plans.
Good advice to live with. John Augustine, who, by the way, didn't go to Michigan State University. He went to Ohio State University. But I've never held that against you very much. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks.
John Augustine, Chief Investment Officer, Huntington Private Bank on WJR.
Hi, Matt Garko here with Bill Brown Ford. Frankenmuth has the world's largest Christmas store. Allen Park has the world's largest tire. Here in Livonia, we have our own record to talk about. Bill Brown Ford is officially the #1 Ford dealer in America, and we couldn't have done it without the help of each and every customer along the way. Being #1 means much more to us than just selling cars. It means doing business the right way is still the best way. Bill Brown Ford Livonia, proud to be your #1 Ford dealer in America.
#1 Ford dealer is based on Ford's new total retail sales report for 2021.
Still unsure about the vaccine? These Michigan doctors want you to hear them out.
We're seeing more patients admitted. It's heartbreaking for me to have to turn to my patient in the bed and to say, you need to make that phone call because we're putting you on life support.
And when you have to tell a family member that they've lost a loved one, it's just brutal.
In order to keep Michigan safe, it's so important to get vaccinated.
Find your vaccine at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. For your free quote, call 1-800-885-8811. That's 1-800-885-8811. Or go to SelectQuote.com.